Right, guys, so today I'm going to be going through my predictions for the 2022 F1 driver lineup. So basically, who I think is going to be at which team. Now, there are some drivers that are already confirmed for their team for next year. They've already got contracts. And those drivers are Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen. So all of those drivers are confirmed for 2022 at their teams. They've got a contract and they're going to be driving there. So if a team has confirmed both drivers for next season, they are not going to be in this video until the end when I do an overview of my whole predictions. So the first team we're going to be doing is Williams. Now for Williams, the first driver I've gone with is Nicholas Latifi. He brings a lot of money into the team. He's got a very rich dad. He's not been doing too bad a job next to George Russell this season. Obviously, he's not been beating George Russell, but that's a very hard task. But he's been solid for Williams, and they're happy with the job he's doing, and definitely happy with the money he's bringing in. So Nicholas Latifi, I think he's definitely going to be at Williams next season. Now to partner him, there's a couple of options. There's George Russell, if you think he's going to stay at Williams. There's some of the junior drivers they've got. The one is Jack Aitken in Formula 2 currently, only for a couple of races filling in. Somebody who's currently not in Formula 2. And there's Roy Nissany, who's full time in Formula 2. Done a few tests for Williams. He hasn't raced in a Williams car like Jack Aitken had at Sakhir last year. Obviously, we know how that went for George Russell. So I think they're going to go with Jack Aitken. He's got more experience in a Formula 1 car. I think he's a better driver. He's older. So I think Williams are going to go with Nicholas Latifi and Jack Aitken for 2022. Now next up we've got Alfa Romeo. Now for Alfa Romeo, I believe Ferrari get to choose one of the drivers and Alfa Romeo get to choose the other. So currently they've got Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Now perhaps controversially, I think they're going to get rid of both drivers. I think Giovinazzi's had enough chances to beat Raikkonen, an aging Raikkonen who's not as quick as he was. So I don't think Ferrari see a future with Giovinazzi, so I think he's going to get dropped. And I think Kimi Raikkonen's going to retire. He is 41, I believe. And I think it's time for him to retire. He's not as fast as he was. And it's just a space that could be filled up by a different driver. So I think Ferrari are going to put Callum Ilott in that seat. It's obviously not racing in Formula 1 this year, even though he finished second in Formula 2 last year behind Mick Schumacher. A lot of people wanted him to get the second Haas seat, but of course we all know who that went to, quite controversially. So I think Callum Ilott's going to be at Alfa Romeo next season. Now to partner him, this might be a clue of what I think is going to happen later on in this video. I've gone with Valtteri Bottas. I don't think he's going to be kept on by Mercedes. I think he's a bit too slow this season, finishing outside the points, not finishing second behind Hamilton or wherever Hamilton finishes, depending on the pace of the car. And I think Mercedes probably had enough of him. I think Valtteri Bottas will partner Callum Ilott at Alfa Romeo next season. Now, next up, we've got AlphaTauri. Now, this will be a bit of a quick one. I think Yuki Tsunoda, I think he's got a contract with some kind of Red Bull for next season, but obviously that could change. I don't think he's going to go to the senior team. I think he's not been fast enough, making too many mistakes. So I think he'll stay, just try and learn for another season before maybe getting promoted to Red Bull in 2023. And to partner him, I'll come with Pierre Gasly. I don't think he's ever going to get into the Red Bull seat again. He's a very quick driver. I think he could be at a top team, but I don't think any of the other top teams want him. McLaren have got both their drivers contracted for next season. Same with Red Bull. Same with Ferrari. And I don't think Mercedes are going to go with him. They've got other options that they could go with. So I think he's either going to have to stay at AlphaTauri or be out of Formula 1. And I think he'd rather stay at AlphaTauri. And I don't think AlphaTauri have got anybody else that they'd like to put in. So that's pretty simple. Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly at AlphaTauri for next season. Now next we come on to Alpine. Now Alpine have already got Fernando Alonso contracted for next season. And to partner him, I think they're going to stick with Esteban Ocon. He's got some very good results this season. I think he's been getting a lot better, because obviously last season he got beat quite convincingly by Daniel Ricciardo. A lot of people kind of wrote him off. But this season, he's come back. He's been faster than Fernando Alonso in many races, beating him in many races. So I can't think of any reason why Alpine wouldn't want to keep a French driver in a French team. So for Alpine, I'm just editing this video, and it's just been announced that Esteban Ocon is definitely staying with Alpine for next year. So I guess I was right with that. But obviously when I recorded, I just didn't know. So that's why I've not said it in here. So back to the video. Hope you're enjoying it. Alpine, I'm going for Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Now Red Bull, another team that I've got a driver contracted for next year, Max Verstappen. He's going to stay. Not much more needs to be said. And to partner him, they could promote Pierre Gasly, but obviously, as I've already said earlier, I don't think they're going to. Same with Yuki Tsunoda. They could put Albon back in the team, but I think they're going to go with Sergio Perez. He's been very consistent, got a win in the last race at Baku. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't keep Sergio Perez in that car. So for Red Bull, I'm going for Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Now the big one, Mercedes. You already know that I've not chosen Valtteri Bottas to partner Lewis Hamilton. Have I even chosen Lewis Hamilton? Let's get into it. I have. Lewis Hamilton, I think he's going to stay. I think he'll sign a contract soon. I think he's already said that he wants to sign a contract by the summer. He doesn't want it to go into the start of next season like it did this year. I think he's proved that he's still got it. You know, he made a couple of mistakes recently, but so's everybody really. He's been beating Valtteri Bottas consistently, and I know people like to say that he's not a good driver, but of course Bottas is a good driver. He's just not on the same level as Lewis Hamilton. So I don't see any reason why either the driver or the team would want to break up that relationship. And to partner Lewis Hamilton, I've gone with George Russell. Now I really hope this happens. George Russell is such a good driver. He's been sort of wasted in that Williams the last 3 years. Now, we saw a glimpse of what he could do at Sakir, although I think that was because how dominant the Mercedes was, and it was pretty easy track to learn. I think if it happened somewhere like Abu Dhabi, I don't think it would have been on the pace of Valtteri Bottas, but over a season, I think it could be closer to Hamilton than Bottas is. But of course, I still think Hamilton's a quicker driver, but we'll see next season, hopefully. So for Mercedes, I've gone with Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. So now you can see on screen my final driver lineups for everybody. I've gone with, for Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. For Red Bull, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. For McLaren, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. For Aston Martin, I've gone for Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. For Alpine, I've gone for Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. For Ferrari, I've gone for Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. For AlphaTauri, I've gone for Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. For Alfa Romeo, I've gone for Valtteri Bottas and Callum Ilott. For Haas, I've gone for Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And for Williams, I've gone for Nicholas Latifi and Jack Aitken. Now that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd change. If you think these driver lineups would do well. If you think George Russell would do well at Mercedes alongside Lewis Hamilton. If you think they'll even sign him. If you think that Bottas will leave. If you think Callum Ilott will join Alfa Romeo, for example. Just let me know in the comments what you think. Drop a like down below if you like the video. Subscribe for more of these kind of videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.